If you're training in the gym consistently, but you're struggling to build muscle, then stick around because in this video, I'm going to show you 4 simple things that people overlook when it comes to building muscle in the gym. And I know these things work because my client Jack has gained over 9 kilograms and packed on a whole load of muscle over a 9-month period. And James, who initially after losing a load of weight is now putting on muscle so fast that he can't even believe the progress he's making himself. So without further ado, let's get into the video. And if you want me to send you over one of the exact training programs that my clients have used to build muscle too, head over to my Instagram in the description and DM me the word program. So the first mistake that I see is that people are not training smart enough. Now, firstly, we need to kind of realize what muscle building is and how it's done. And muscle is built during the last 5 to 8 reps during a set to failure. So if you do a set to all out failure, you do 10 reps on the bench press, and on your 10th rep, you could not possibly get an 11th rep even if you tried, then this is a set to failure. And these last 5 to 8 reps on this set are the reps that are gonna produce this mechanical tension which goes towards muscle growth. So muscle growth is built during the last 5 to 8 reps of a set to failure, okay? So when we're doing things like doing the same 3 sets of 12 reps on everything, or we're not pushing our final sets to failure, or we're not training in a way that's productive for muscle growth, like doing the classes at the gym, like legs, bums and tums, for example, or something like that, we're not putting ourselves and we're not training in a smart enough way that is gonna help us build muscle over time, okay? While doing the same 3 sets of 12 and everything, what you're gonna find is you're likely not going to be pushing hard enough on your sets. You're not going to be producing this mechanical tension that comes in the last 5 to 8 reps of a set towards failure, okay? And if you're not pushing your sets to failure, you're not working hard enough, you're not stimulating any muscle growth. And if you're doing classes like the legs, bums and tums, often it's in like circuit style classes, and you're just not really gonna get any effect out of it. So when we look at the science, training in ways like this and these 3 ways isn't gonna be very beneficial for muscle growth over time, okay? What we want to do instead is we want to be doing this. So we want to be pushing really hard on your last sets. So save yourself, so not the first set and the second set, because you're going to build fatigue over time and then you won't be able to push as effectively on your last set. But on your last sets of an exercise, I want you to be pushing really, really hard. So I want you to be pushing to that point where, gun to your head, you couldn't get another rep if you tried. If we're pushing in and around that intensity, then we're putting ourselves in a much better position to build muscle, because we're signaling to the body that it needs to adapt, it needs to get stronger, and it needs to add more tissue so it can cope with the demand of these new heavy sets that you're doing. So when we train, we always want to push and look to get stronger. Lifting with a 12-10-8 rep range. Now this is something that I use with clients all the time, whether it's 12-10-8 or 10-8-6. And you want to go like this. So your first set of an exercise, I want you to do 12 reps and pick a weight that's manageable. You know, you can get a few more reps out if you tried. It's not that difficult. It's almost like a little bit heavier than a warm-up set. Okay, rest up, then we go into our next set, our second set, which is going to be for 10 reps. And we want to pick a heavier weight here. It wants to be harder and more difficult to do. But again, it's not an all-out set using your heaviest weight, so you're not pushing as hard as you can. You should still have a couple of reps left in the tank. And then for your last set, we want to pick our heaviest weight and we want to go for our lowest reps. So we want to go for 8 reps or a maximum set to failure, so as many as we can. This is where we're using our heaviest weight, and this is where we're looking to kind of stimulate and get that last 5 to 8 reps that we want before a set to failure. So we're pushing as much as we can on these last sets, and that is going to help stimulate more muscle growth over time. Yeah? The next mistake is not following a training program. You know, if you go into the gym regularly and you're not following a plan, then to be honest, you're wasting your time. You know, random workouts are gonna equal random results. So if you're going in the gym and you're doing a little bit of this one day, a little bit of that one day, then the next week you do something different and you keep changing things up over time, you're not going to build any muscle. Okay, we need to go off the data, because if we want to build muscle, we need to create mechanical tension, we need to progressively overload and look to get stronger on our exercises. And if we don't have any sort of data to back this up, because we're training and we're switching things up all the time, then how do we know that we're getting stronger on exercises? How do we know that we're producing this mechanical tension over time? And how do we know we're making the adaptations to our body that we are building muscle? So hope this kind of makes sense. But if we're not following a training program and sticking for it for a period of time, then we're not going to build any muscle. This is what we want. Follow a structured plan that covers all areas of the body. So whether you're in the gym for 3 days a week, you do 3 upper body or 3 full body sessions, or you do an upper body, lower body, full body session, or you're doing 4 times a week, you could do upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body. So we're covering all areas of the body when we're training week on week, and we're repeating this. This is going to ensure that obviously we're training every muscle group, and we're training every muscle group regularly. And we want to rinse and repeat these exercises over time, and then we can record them so we can get stronger and stronger and stronger, and we can build more muscle. Yeah. The third mistake is not sticking with a program for long enough. Now, like I said before, and it's moving on from this point, is you're not giving yourself enough time to make progressions and get stronger when we're not sticking with a program for long enough. So instead of doing your exercises for every 2 weeks with my clients, I like to stick with 8 weeks minimum on the same exercises, the same program. And this really gives us a chance to get comfortable on the exercises. We want to see the kind of nervous system adaptations to our exercises, but then we've got enough time to really stick with them, get comfortable with them, and push them up and really work at them to get as strong as possible before changing things up. If we're not doing this, again, we don't know whether we're getting stronger on exercises, we don't know whether we're progressing, we don't know if we're training hard enough in the gym to build muscle. Okay. Number 4 is we're not tracking the weights that we lift. Now, it's hard to remember the exact weights you do on each exercise if you're not tracking them and logging them over time. And again, this leads us into the fact that how do we know if we're getting stronger if we don't know what we're lifting week on week? If we don't have a system where we're tracking the numbers that we lift and then we're looking to beat them week on week and get stronger and stronger and stronger, then we don't have the data in place that we know that we need in order to get stronger, apply progressive overload, and then eventually build muscle over time. So again, knowledge is power here, guys. Knowledge is power. If we don't have the data to back it up, if we don't have the reps that we're lifting, the reps that we're doing, the weights that we're lifting logged that we can go back on and look at and try to beat week on week, then we don't know if we're going to get stronger, and we don't know if we're building muscle. Instead, grab a logbook or something like that where you can write your lifts down. And even now there's a few apps. So there's an app called the Strong app, and you can kind of map out your training sessions and what you're doing every week, and you can record the reps that you do and the weights that you lift each time in there as well. This way you will know exactly what we're lifting week on week. You can go in the gym, open your logbook or open the app on your phone, and we can log and look to beat the previous numbers session on session. So we know we've got a proven system of getting stronger and stronger over time. So these are just 4 of the common mistakes that I see when it comes with people trying to build muscle. If you start implementing these into your program or into your gym routine, then I guarantee you're going to see way more progress in the gym and way more progress with your muscle building over time. If you have enjoyed this one, I'll leave some content up at the top for you right here to watch, and I'll see you in the next one.